Hello, and welcome to the Astral Tourist, where I discuss my astral projections and lucid dreams. Please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you so much. This experience is about where some beings were talking to me a little bit about a past life, and then I went to a party. So, this is the time of year, October through like December, where I start getting visitations like this. And I don't always recognize the people, and then they'll use names and things I don't recognize, and I'll ask about them because I'm lucid. And they'll tell me, oh, that's about a past life. And that's what happened this time. So I'm just going to cover this one really quickly. Uh, so it all began in a bookstore. And I was there with a couple of women, and I remember there was one really tall, skinny man all in a suit. And he kept pointing out the window. I think he was trying to get me more and more lucid because I wasn't that lucid. He kept pointing out the window, and I looked, and there were these long, long luxury cars out there. I didn't know what they were. So he told me they're Lincoln Town cars for the party. And he kept like patting my shoulder a little bit, like just a little bit to try and get me to be more lucid. And the ladies were talking, and one came over, and she was really bright white. She had a really beautiful white aura. And she was trying to introduce me to somebody else, and she said, "Hey, this is Christy Glade's daughter." And they were talking about me, and that is not my name at all. And it has nothing to do with anybody else that might be named that or something. Um, and so I was correcting them. I was like, "That's not my name. Oh, you got it wrong. Maybe I'm in the wrong place," because I'm still just not quite 100% lucidity yet. And that's when she corrected me and said, "Oh, this is from past life where we know you from, and that I shouldn't worry about it." And then somebody else came over and said, "Oh, she's with the Turner clan, witches or pagans." I think of witches. He was talking about witches. And I don't even know what that is. I tried to look it up today online. I did not find a Turner clan that's like a whole clan of witches or anything. So, they were continuing on, and so I decided to go along with this because I know this is the time of year these things are happening, and they're claiming to know me, and I'm part of the witch family. I don't know which one, Turner, Glade, something. And so we went out to the, Lincoln cars there, which I had no idea there were any such thing. I looked up those too, and those are a real thing here in the physical. Those Lincoln cars were pretty grand for their day. And we went to this place and just kind of phased into a movie theater, and I didn't get to see it because I was not sitting up really close, and so I started asking questions after a few minutes, and I was kinda shushed, which I understand. So I sat patiently. And then everybody got up and everything kind of just went in like a little bit of a spiral, and we were in this really bright room, with bright white light. Tables were set, there were different things set out on the tables, there was food, there were, like, little trinkets and things that I didn't quite, make out. Some things that were standing straight up, I think, were fancy napkins. And so I was just kind of wandering around the room looking at things, and I came to this bowl that this other lady was at, and there was mist coming up from it, and this beautiful green mist. And I was wondering what she was up to, and somebody told me, like from across the room, that she was scrying to see her future because they had included a special scrying bowl here at the party. And so I was waiting my turn. I wanted to get in there and try that out too. So I went up to the bowl. It just looked like sil- a round silver bowl, nothing too fancy. There was water in there, not smoke or mist or anything. And so I was like, "What's my future? What's my future bowl?" And then nothing was happening, and I wasn't sure maybe I'm supposed to stir the bowl. So I began to stir the bowl a little bit with one of my astral fingers, hoping to get the energy moving, and still nothing happened. And then somebody was telepathing to me from across the room a little bit again, saying that maybe it's not working because I'm not a scryer, and asked if I ever had any experience with scrying. And I said, "No, I've never scried. I was just trying it out." And so, that did not work out so well for me, but that's okay. And then later on, there was this whole performance, which again, I was having trouble seeing. So they told me to go in it because different people could participate. And the main thing I remember from going in it is that I was put in this line, and then every so often we would move back, and then everybody would move back again. Think like lines of tap dancers or something. Only I wasn't tap dancing, I was just kind of part of the crowd. And we kept moving back, and then there was a big finale, which I didn't get to see, way up in the front, and then that part of the whole thing was over. So then I kept looking around, and I wasn't, navigating particularly well, and I kinda went through a wall on accident, and it turned out that it was a mirrored wall because when I went through it, there was a whole different room in the back, but just, like, stuff spread around, like shoes and clothes. Just miscellaneous stuff. Somebody asked me what I was doing there, and I said I went through the wall, and they said, "Oh, that's okay. You can just go around." And so they pointed me in a direction, and I was able to walk around the outside of the wall all the way back to the party room. I remember there were some custom items available on the tables. I brought a special pair of shoes that fit just right, only they were more like boots with tiny little heels, and they would turn whatever color you wanted them to turn. And I just remember how comfortable those were. And there was also a lady there who offered to give me a quick reading for the party. I guess she was just doing this at random for different people. She gave me a quick little reading that's a little bit personal, but mainly I have to be careful about, um, being too concerned what others think of me and not absorbing other people's energy as much as I do. And I didn't realize that I was. I mean, I know to be careful about that, but apparently I'm still doing that a little bit too much. So I thanked her for that. Um, and then I was with this other woman, and we were just talking, I forget about what, and then the party was about to be over with. And because everybody was cleaning up, they did this thing where everybody was going counterclockwise and picking things up off the table. Apparently, there was a lot of food left on the table, so we could pick up the food. So when I looked in my hands after I attempted to pick up the food, I noticed that these are crackers, large saltine crackers. Like I had 4 kind of thick ones, so I took a bite and I did not taste anything, but I don't usually. So that gave me a little bit of energy. And I just thought it was interesting the way that everybody kind of contributed by doing the counterclockwise spin, and everybody was picking up things kind of different things at the same time. And it was just kind of cool, like a cool ending. Um, I forgot this little detail. At some point, somebody reminded me to look up red bark, some type of medication with or herb with red bark or made out of red bark. I haven't done that yet, so that's still something left for me to do. And I'm not sure what it was supposed to help with. Astral projection, maybe, or something else. I don't know. Maybe weight loss. I'd love to lose some more weight. Um, so then after that swirl, that counterclockwise swirl, we were all just kind of outside in this huge, gigantic parking lot. It looked like it was, maybe mid-afternoon, bright and sunny. There were 2 enormous planes, one to the left and one to the right, and each one had a bunch of stairs going up to it as well. And I wasn't sure which one to go to. I was headed to the left, but then I saw a lady that seemed familiar, so I ran off to the right. And I just woke up, with some tingles. I usually wake up with a few tingles if I've been astral projecting. It's just kind of my norm. So, I don't think it really mattered which one I went to because I was going to wake up anyway. But I just thought it was interesting that there was a choice. So, I thought it was going one way and went the other and still woke up normally with all the tingles and right back in my physical body. So that's my little sharing about the witch party. Apparently, I had a past life, at least as part of a witchy family or something. So I just take down these things for myself and hope others get something out of it. So thanks for tuning in.